Hi everyone, and welcome to Moxxie Life Coaching. I'm Michelle, and I'll be your host as we explore what life coaching is and how it can empower you to create and live your best life. We'll talk about topics ranging from our own self-defeating behaviors to getting to know our authentic selves. Together, we'll investigate a variety of self-coaching modalities and explore a wide range of topics relevant to getting the most out of the life that you are actively creating. New episodes will drop every Tuesday, so please subscribe so you don't miss out on the great hints, tips, and tricks, and generally awesome content that will help you create your best life. So welcome, and thank you for listening. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Moxxie Coaching Podcast. Today I have just two brief announcements. Both of them are reminders. The first is a reminder that the free Getting to Know Yourself Better through the Tarot and Numerology course is available on the Moxxie website. And the second is a reminder to mark your calendar for September 25th at 10 a.m., where I will be doing a Facebook Live workshop on the Whole Health Network Facebook group, and we'll be talking about self-coaching with the tarot. And I'm super excited about that. Okay, so this week, as promised, we are going to be talking about tarot books. If I had to guess, I would guess that there are thousands of books out there on the tarot. And they are for every different aspect of the tarot, every different tarot reader level, just so many. And it's crazy and it's confusing. And that's part of the reason I wanted to offer you this episode. So some of them are just very basic. You can pick up a tarot book that literally has just the card meanings and the keywords for the cards. You can pick up books that are dedicated specifically to an aspect of the tarot, like I said, like the court cards or the major arcana or the Fool's Journey, any of those things. There are simple books and there are incredibly complex books. So in this episode, I'm going to share 3 books that I currently own that I have personally used and have found to be useful at different stages of my tarot learning and career. And they range from very elementary to very advanced. If you are primarily interested in a general overview of the tarot and just having enough information to develop your own set of questions for the cards, then the first book that I suggest is probably going to be fine for you. However, if you are taking what you think is going to really be just a first step on a lifelong tarot journey and you want to learn all of its nuances, you may want to consider the last book. So sit back, listen up, and figure out where you should be starting from. And just a side note, I have no affiliation whatsoever with any of these authors or publishers. They're just books that I would recommend to a friend asking me, what book do you recommend? So I'm recommending them to you all. The first book is in the kind of in the realm of the dummy manuals, and it's called The Complete Idiot's Guide to Tarot, 2nd edition, by Arlene Tonghetti and Lisa Leonard. And this is the most basic of the 3 books. It is the most introductory, but still, it's got 350 pages, so it's not like it's a quick read. One of the things I really like about it is there are sections in there where you can write down your own thoughts. So it's a bit of a textbook and a workbook in one. It uses the Rider-Smith-Waite deck for its examples for the same reason I do. And it's a very basic introduction to the tarot, to the cards themselves, and how they work. One of the things I really like about it is that it uses modern examples of archetypes. So while a lot of places, archetypes should be something that are memorable for us. So yes, while the Fool, for example, could be some esoteric past historical figure archetype, this book might actually be the one that suggested in my previous podcast people like Joey from Friends as a fool, right? Somebody that's that we can remember, somebody that's relatable for us in modern day times. So having someone that's relatable, you're a whole lot more likely to remember the archetype of the fool if it's related to Joey on the Friends or Dory on Finding Nemo, because it's a memorable thing as opposed to some random person that you've never heard of before. I like because the book has a chapter about reading for yourself, which not all books do. Some of them don't get into it because it is a more complicated way to work with the tarot. Personally, I think it's more complicated to read for yourself than it is for other people because you have all your own junk in the background and you have your hamster wheel running in the back. And so I like any book that shares any insight at all about how to read for yourself. The book has great examples. It goes through a lot of the symbolism. It has case studies, which are really helpful in terms of, this is the reading, these are the cards, yada, 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 all of the details. There is also a chapter on numerology. And all in all, I would say that this is just a great, well-rounded beginner book that is less likely to intimidate you and leave you feeling frustrated if you're a very beginner. I just have found it super easy to use. It's very relatable, and a great book or a book of this type. Should you be one of those folks who just really wants to, you don't even want to think about all the other stuff. All you want to think about right now is learning how to do the self-coaching, and you'll worry about the rest later. If that's you, I would recommend you start with this one. The second book is an intermediate book. And I would recommend this book if you have been working with the cards for a while, if you have a general understanding, and you know that you really are going to want to start out coaching yourself, start out by learning that methodology, but you also know that more than likely you're going to want more detailed information than you're going to be able to get from an introduction book like The Complete Idiot's Guide. This book is called The Easiest Way to Learn the Tarot Ever by Dusty White. And I really like this book because it is, in a true sense, a workbook and a textbook in one. It encourages you to write in the book. This is not one you want to get on your Kindle. You want to purchase a hard copy of this one because you do want to be able to make your notes. And for every single card, there is an extensive list of questions and interactive activities that you can do to help you come to your own understanding of each individual card. So like I said, it's a lot more detailed than the other one, but it would be appropriate if you really think you are going to want to dig into things and do more advanced readings, or if you think that you may want to be doing eventually readings for other people. The book provides traditional meanings, but it also encourages you to take a look at your stuff and how your stuff, your personal background, your personal belief system, all of those things inform how you see the tarot. They inform how we see everything, right? We're a result of our own experiences. So while the book provides traditional meanings, it also encourages you to take a look inside and for some of that personal intuitive knowledge. The book also gets into more esoteric symbolism and interpretations in the majors. There's a lot of detail there. There is information on using spreads, specific spreads, understanding of how to use them, how to, dig into interpreting each card position and all of that we talked about earlier. It even has a section on troubleshooting, which I thought was really kind of cool. What do I do if my mind goes blank when I'm reading for someone else, and that kind of thing. There is a glossary available. I can't even just say enough about it. It really is an excellent intermediate book. So if you are interested, like I said, in just the basics, this is not going to probably be the first book that you want to pick up. But if you know yourself well enough to know that you are probably going to want more information, this is the one I would start with. And the last book in my little list here is an extremely advanced book. And I am letting you know about this book not because I think it's necessarily appropriate for most people at this point in time, at this point in where we are in the coaching curriculum. However, it is the absolute best, most thorough, in-depth book that I have ever come across about the tarot. And it's written by a woman whose name is Benebell Wen. She is, I believe she's an attorney as well. This woman is just like brain trust, in just huge brain. And she's able to actually bring all of her knowledge down into an understandable format. The book is called Holistic Tarot, an integrative approach to using tarot for personal growth. This book is 845 pages long, and it contains a detailed history of the tarot. It has templates for compiling tarot deck research notes. It has 30 pages of footnotes and charts and craziness. And I would not recommend this book as a beginner book. This is one of those books that a beginner would pick up and say, heck no, this is hard. No, I'm not going to do this. And they'd put it away and they would never look at it again. This book is one you sort of have to build yourself up to and work your way toward. It's an amazing book. I would definitely recommend it. It's the book that I would recommend for the person after they have chosen their intermediate book. If they're looking for a more advanced book, this is the one. This book contains all of the information that the previous two books that I discussed contain, but it's like that information on steroids. It's like that friend of yours, that savant friend of yours who knows everything about one particular thing. That's the type of information that's in this book. So I would highly recommend it, just maybe not to start out. So those are my 3 recommendations. For beginners, I suggest the Complete Idiot's Guide to the Tarot, 2nd edition. For intermediate learners, I suggest the book The Easiest Way to Learn the Tarot Ever by Dusty White. And as an advanced learner, as you get to that place, I would recommend The Holistic Tarot and Integrative Approach to Using the Tarot for Personal Growth by Benabel Wen. In the next podcast, we will dig into more of the tarot card meanings. We'll be talking about the Magician, the High Priestess, and maybe one or two other cards. We'll see how much time we have. All right, so I hope that this is helpful. Now you have everything you need for your foundation to start your self-coaching. You have an understanding of the deck that you need. You have an understanding of the stuff, your notebook and your pen and all of those kinds of things. And you have a starting point where you can get started to learn on your own, or you can get started by listening to the podcast episodes and learning organically as we go through the tarot deck itself. Thank you so much for popping in for this super quick episode. I am grateful for every single one of you for all of the listens, and I do so hope that you will like and subscribe and do all of those things. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, so you can find me at any of those places. The podcast is available pretty much everywhere that one would think of to listen to podcasts. And I greatly look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you all have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon. Bye.